Salam.
My name is Azhar Ahmadi. I arrived.
Could you please go to the microphone?
My name is Azhar Ahmadi. I arrived. Yes, I am.
When did you arrive?
I arrived this morning. I bring you salams from the Jamaat of Abu Dhabi and a request for prayers. I have one small question which my wife sometimes puts to me. She is not allowed to marry more than one husband. I am allowed to. Can you provide me with one for that?
Now, first of all, I see the situation where ladies are also permitted and men are also permitted to marry more than once. How large the family would become, first conceive that. If each husband marries 4 wives and each wife has 4 husbands, so how big the family would be and how unmanageable. Can you conceive of such a family? If each wife has married 4 times and each husband has married 4 times, how can we manage things? Then who would be responsible for children? Whose children can they be counted? In case of 4 wives, there can be no doubt about which children belong to which mother. But there being 4 husbands, nobody knows. Can you?
I have no answer to that, partly because I haven't followed all that you have said, because I have been overawed by your presence.
So inshallah you will understand. I think people have understood it.
I will follow it on the days.
You can follow it. But this is a counter question. You put it to your wife, as I have said. I hope she is listening to the tape, not to this discourse, isn't she?
Yes.
She is in the hall?
No, she is not. She is at home.
Then you can make her listen to the cassette and find out the answer. And inshallah then I will pursue it further if necessary. I said this because the other aspects of the philosophy of this injuncture have already been explained at so many places by so many religious scholars. Also, I have answered this question at various question and answer sessions differently. But in view of your wife's question, I have thought of this approach as well. This is something which I once used against a Christian student who just wouldn't listen to the philosophy and this and that. He wanted a crisp, mouth and a shut up answer, that I think. So when I posed this question to him, he couldn't answer anything, He had to admit, okay, leave it alone. Anything else, please? Tahir, Sylvie, where have you been? Have you been coming or
No.
what? I have been missing you for some time.
I've been trying to catch up with some of my friends. So I've been invented and stuff, more to catch up with.
Right. So you all right?
Yes.
Did you go out on holiday somewhere? No.
No, only 1 day visits.
Yes, please.
I'd like to ask you on a subject which is being talked about a lot these days in the media and public. This is to do with experimenting with human embryos. It's received a lot of publicity and there's a lot of controversy of whether you should experiment on embryos or not.
Experimenting on in which regard?
Well, what happens is that when they have to test tube babies, for example, they have a lot of spare embryos left over. And what some of these experimenters do is they use these spare ones to do all sorts of biological experiments. I think there was a commission set up
Well,
recently.
in principle, if a husband's sperm is conveyed to his wife's uterus through any means, there shouldn't be any objection, legal objection from Islamic point of view. It is for the sanctity and purity of human race that such orders are made, number one, and also for fixing the responsibility. Because sex is not a direct objective of life. Look at it from natural point of view or from religious point of view, the answer would be one and the same. Everything which is productive and useful, that acquires some sort of taste and some pleasure. So that is why all the most important things for life have acquired some pleasure. But because the objective was important, pleasure ultimately became the objective for some human beings erroneously, and they forgot that the pleasure was a development, according to scientists maybe, of billions of years of evolution in some direction. And according to the religious philosophy, a development which was ordained and pre-designed and pre-directed. But whatever way you look at it, the pleasure attached to human acts are in fact directly related to the importance of those acts. If they serve humanity in somehow in some way, then pleasure is added to it, and the vice versa. This is the general rule. So in this case, the second important thing is to bring up the future generation with responsibility, and that responsibility has to be divided among the people. That is one object of sex. So the Holy Quran divides that responsibility according to set rules, and the husband has to bear the responsibility of the upbringing of the entire people, of the children. If a mother can participate of volition, there is no objection, but in principle it is father's responsibility. So any scientific research which does not violate these two fundamental objectives of reproduction, Islam does not have any objection against them. Whatever way of the experiments take place, if purity of race and sharing of responsibility, these are the two main objectives. If they are not violated in any way by a scientific experiment, Islam will have no objection against it.
I think what happens with these experiments is that the sperm growth is kept in the test tubes and there's time to grow.
What I mean to say is, why don't you apply this situation to these two principles and come out with the answer yourself? Whatever experiment is taken under these two principles, you can get the solution easily. Apply them to these situations and you'll get the answer correctly.
One related question. To do with recent developments in surrogate motherhood. There's two actually things which are called surrogacy. One is when the mother, for example, cannot bear children, and what they do is that they hire, if you like, another lady who then becomes, as it were, the mother. They take the sperm from the father and actually implant this other lady's egg with the father's sperm, and then when she has the child, she then gives it over to the original parents. Yes, this is obvious. There is a second one.
Following the right,
Just
without sharing the full responsibility.